Alright guys, we're getting closer and closer to being fully set up so you guys can start dialing, and in this video you're going to have to pay close attention because this video is probably one of the most important videos that you'll watch in this entire course. The whole course is very important, but this video especially because we're getting so close to setting up to start dialing our power list. What is a power list? A power list is a lead list that you can power dial. I'm going to actually create a new power list right now to show you guys how you would set up the settings. When you create a power list, you can actually use this power list and you can assign it to a specific member. Within this power list right here, I'm just going to assign it to myself. My name is James, haha. And my power list name, I'm just going to call it testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll put the status as active or inactive because you can actually change the status of the power list. Obviously, you want it active, and then you could put your max level of contact. I have people come to us all the time saying, oh, I can't put more than 100 leads in my power list. Well, inside of power list settings, you can actually adjust the amount of leads that you want in your power list. I'm going to adjust it right here. Put max that I want in a power list is 10,000, guys. Right here, I'm going to put my priority. So I can set my priority of my power list. Do I want my reps or myself to hit this power list first, second, third, fourth, fifth? You can actually set your priority here. So I'm going to put it as highest. And then in order to move on to the next call, do you have to disposition the lead, yes or no, right? I'm going to put yes right here. And then when I talk about seconds before timeout, that's the amount of time that you want the dialer to be dialing before it moves on to the next lead. Best practices says to keep this at 35 seconds. But if you're impatient, you could go less than that just so that you get more time talking and less time dialing. The carriers love to see a phone ring all the way through. However, I get that you don't want to waste too much time when you're dialing. If you want to set it to 30 seconds, I think you could still be safe, but you want to make sure that you're having that phone ring for as long as humanly possible so that system doesn't detect that it's an auto dialer and your number doesn't start coming up as spam. Okay, one of the biggest things that we care about here, or the biggest thing that we care about here, is to make sure that you guys are having more conversations, more deals closed, and more revenue made for your business. We can keep the spam low on those phone numbers. You're going to have more conversations, which results in more deals. Okay, dial at a time. You could dial up to 10 at a time. However, that could cause for a drop-off rate. Why? Because if you call 10 people, but you're only one person, guess what happens with all those other phones? They disconnect and they drop off. So you want to make sure that you're staying around 3 to 5. Our AI system that is going to be done probably by the time you're watching this video can actually adjust this based on the answer rate and the common denominators that we have from the data since we've been doing this so long. During the hot seasons or hot times of the day, is what we call it, is between 5 to 9 p.m. when people are getting home, they're off work, they're with their families, their phones are turned on, and they're picking up their phones, after the kids get out of school, after they get off of work. During that time, you might want to only dial 2 or 3 at a time because you're getting pickups back to back to back to back. But let's say you want your sales team to dial throughout the whole entire day, but you still want them to have conversations and get pickups, then you want to adjust this to maybe 5 or 6 at a time. Okay, now max attempts daily. When we talk about max attempts daily, it's how many times do we want to contact this lead and do we want to set a max to it? I would only want to really contact a lead probably 2 or 3 times a day, so you would just select whichever one you want to be there. Just don't be too aggressive, right? The more aggressive you are, the more you look like spam, then you're going to be associated to spam risk. Be smart about it when you're making these lists. Max attempts total. What's the max amount of times you want to call somebody before you're like, this lead is done, it's not answering? I would say 10 to 15 is a pretty good number. You can do infinite if you're one of those super aggressive people, but again, that just depends how you want to run your company. We suggest doing 10 to 15. And then also you can select this. So let's say that you finish this whole power list. Well, you want to keep dialing after that power list runs out because let's just say you have 30 contacts in it. It only takes you 20 minutes to get through 30 contacts. Then you're going to want it to jump to the next one. Then it would just jump to the next power list. So you can select whichever next power list you want it to go to. DNC, we actually have a built-in do not call registry database where we scrub our data against. If you want to call a DNC and you want to be risky and you want to get a complaint filed against you, then select no. But if you want to be compliant and you want to call your data that's opt-in data and that's 100% compliance with FCC, then you want to click on yes. And then for start time and end time, that's just for the power list. So you could set actually time blocks on that power list. So you could start and then you can have a hard end if they're in a specific time zone or area code. Okay, guys, I know I'm talking pretty fast here, but just rewatch the video, play it in slow motion if you don't understand. As far as tags go, Let's say you're using high level and that you have a specific tag that you tag this power list or smart list as what high level calls it, and you can actually go create the tag with inside the dialer and have that same tag matching with inside of Rizz dialer. Okay, for dial reset daily, that would be, for the example that I just gave, let's say you have 30 contacts in the list and you want it to reset on a day-to-day basis. So you could either put yes or you could put no. As soon as you're done with that list, it'll reset so that you can go dial it again. But if you click on no, then you won't be able to dial this list until the day is finished. Okay. Now for a cooldown period, that's the time between that you want to set before dialing through that list again. So for that same example, if you have 30 leads in a power list and you only want to call those leads probably 3 times per day total for the max attempts, but you want to give it a 2-hour window so that you can give that person the time to either their appointment, get home, go pick up their kids from school. So at this point, you'd set a cooldown on that power list of 2 hours, and then you won't be able to contact this person for 2 hours or whatever cooldown that you select. You could put 1 week, 5 days, 2 days, 1 day, whichever custom amount that you want. And then within that 2-hour time frame, now I won't be able to contact any of those 30 leads that are in this power list until 2 hours of cooldown time. Okay, now off to the fun part. For uploading data and disposition. Within inside of your power list, you'll see all the dispositions, right? Just like I showed you guys before, dispositions are substituted depending on the role. I'm an admin, so I can see all these different dispositions here. But as a user, if they're making their own power list or you're making your power list for your team, then they're only able to see the dispositions that are associated with their specific user role. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back and watch the video that talks about how to set up dispositions. But in order to upload a file, pretty self-explanatory. You can upload a CSV file or an XLSX, and you would just map the fields, and then you would upload those leads to that specific power list, and then just click on save, and your list will be uploaded depending on the size of it. Sometimes it takes 30 seconds, sometimes it would take up to 10 minutes if it's a huge file that you're uploading. That is how PowerLists works. In the next video, we're going to be showing how to send and create a power list, just like I just created right now, and how to actually send leads to this specific power list. Remember guys, I just created the power list. It's testing 1, 2, 3, and I assigned myself as the member to this power list. So in the next video, I'm going to be showing you how to automatically send leads to this power list. See you guys in the next video.